everyone, and welcome to the Have Knitting podcast. My name is Christy, and I want to welcome you all. If you've never, what's the word I'm looking for? If you've never come across me before, like if you're not a reader of my blog or you haven't watched the podcast before, and my name is Christy. I live in the Blue Mountains of New South Wales, Australia. I'm the mum of 6 kids, and yes, my life is pretty hectic, but keeps me on my toes, and it's interesting raising 6 children. I think the more kids you have, the more you understand how different all their little personalities are. Like they're all fantastic kids. They're all wonderful children. I love them all to bits, but they're all so very different. Their interests are very different. There's crossovers and stuff, but their personalities are different. Their senses of humor are all a little bit wicked and cheeky, but even that's all very different. So I don't know why I started talking about that, but anyway. So yes, mum of 6 children. My oldest, excuse me, I just had lunch a few minutes ago. My oldest is 11 and she's in year 6. And then I have a 9-year-old daughter, a 7-year-old son, a 5-year-old son, a recently turned 3-year-old daughter, and an 11-and-a-half-week-old baby. So yes, I'm busy. And no, I don't find a lot of time for knitting. I get asked a lot, like how I manage to find time to knit, and it's just one of those things that you make time for. It's my sanity. Like some mums go back to work. Some mums like to sew, some mums like to read, whatever it might be. My de-stressor and my sanity lifeline is knitting. So, and it's so portable, especially if you knit like small things like socks or whatever. It's very portable. So I do a lot of sock knitting on the go, as you will see over the however long I podcast for, or if you go back and read my blog. Yeah, I like small portable projects, and it's a long story, so I won't go into it today, but for the longest time I avoided larger projects because I was always scared of failing, and putting all that money, into buying the yarn and stuff and then failing is really disheartening. And for me, it feels very wasteful. So I've just started actually not just queuing jumpers and going, oh yeah, one day I'll knit that, but actually planning to knit me-size cardigans and stuff again. I did start one maybe last year, or was it the year before? It was a Vera Valimaki one. I can't remember what it was called. And I tried it on, and it just, even though I knit it for my size, and I did do a gauge swatch and everything, it still was working out way too small. So I've still got that yarn and a half-finished project somewhere. We've had renovations in the last 18 months, so everything's kind of been moved around, and I know where some stuff is, but I don't know what other stuff is, and some, yeah. So I don't know. One day I'll probably drag it out and go, oh, I'm going to knit this with that. Oh, it's a sport weight Kauni. Is that how you say it? Kauni yarn in a very bright blue. Yes, it does need to be knit into something. Maybe a 3/4 sleeve cardigan if I can find one on Ravelry. Anyway, that's total aside. So yes, so I'm a knitter. I'm a blogger. I am now a podcaster. I kind of dabble with designing. Hopefully one day I'll actually design something beyond leg warmers or rib socks. I've tried, and I'm having to just go, you know what, I need to be kind to myself. I've just had a baby, so I don't need to do everything today or yesterday or tomorrow. I just need to get through today when I'm sleep deprived and I have 5 other children and a husband that need me to be present and not tearing my hair out, anxious over whatever I've been trying to work on. So I'm trying really hard not to be envious. You know, that whole comparison is a thief of joy thing. I'm trying really hard not comparing what I'm able to do or produce with other people. And that's really hard. It's really, really hard. But yes, comparison is a thief of joy, and I just need to enjoy it and enjoy the process. Anyway, I rambled on for 5 minutes about not much. I am sorry. I hope I haven't bored you and that you're still with me. If you are still with me, hi! I'm coming to you from my 2 youngest daughters, the 9-year-old and the 3-year-old. I'm coming from their bedroom. Coming to you live from their bedroom. Lovely purple. This room is at the back of the house, and it has the best afternoon sun, and it's comfortable and it's quiet. My 3-year-old has a pretty bad cold, and she's crashed out on the couch, and my husband's out there with I think he's just put our 11-week-old to bed after I fed him, and my other 2 boys are playing on the computer. So, and my 2 older daughters are outside playing. So it's quiet down here. And this week I tried several times to record. The last time I recorded, I used... Oh, what did I use? I used... Oh, the webcam on our PC. We've got 2 webcams. So I'm sleep deprived. I get completely and utterly confused and forget what I'm talking about mid-sentence all the time. So maybe the title of this is going to be something along the lines of Christy with the 30-second memory of a goldfish. See, there, I go again, forgetting. Anyway, I recorded the first one in the lounge room with the really cheap webcam that I picked up in a supermarket. And the video on that is totally dodgy. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you that sat through there and watched it. Sat through it and watched the whole 17 minutes of really dodgy video. I am so sorry. We've tried looking for the other one, but like I said, you know, like things have been moved around and packed away, and you know, if you've ever moved before, then you would know you lose stuff. And if you've ever renovated before, it's easy for things to just get sucked into the ether in your house. So it's somewhere, the more expensive one. And that, I think that records decent audio, visual, not audio, visual. I think it does. I can't remember. I think it does. So anyway, couldn't find it. So I went, all right, well, I just want to give it a go anyway. So I sat down in this room on Wednesday afternoon with my DSLR camera because it's got video recording on it. And I started, and I got about 6 minutes in, and the battery died. At least I think it was the battery that died. And in the meantime, I had my 3-year-old coming in, constantly wanting my attention. And then I tried again with my mobile phone because I've got a new Nokia Lumia phone, and it's got the ability to record video on it, and the camera is fantastic. I really like the camera on my phone, and but it provides its own backlight, and it's really, really, really super bright. So I'm sitting there, even though it was a fair way back in the room, it was still this really bright light shining in my eyes, burning my poor retinas. And by the time I finished, and I had to rush through it, I closed the door, and I think I went for about 15 minutes, and I was just like the whole way through, with a 3-year-old knocking on the door going, "Mummy, what are you doing?" What do they say? Never work with children or animals. Never try and podcast with children, because ultimately they're going to try and interrupt because they want to be a part of it. So I ended up emailing my husband, I think on Thursday, when I was feeling positive, because I went from feeling very negative about it, like, oh, never, ever, ever going to get this done, to feeling really positive about it. And so while I was feeling positive, I emailed my husband and said, can I use your laptop on Saturday for an hour? Can you occupy the children so that I can just record a podcast? And he went, yes, of course. So, which is fantastic of him. He's incredibly supportive. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without his support. So, yes, I love my husband. I'm very thankful for him. Okay, let's talk knitting. If you did watch the first one, feel free, if you haven't watched it before, to go back and watch it, but it is dodgy video, but it's only about 17 minutes long. So if you can sit through dodgy video, and I just heard my front door. I've probably got children that have just walked in the door. Knowing them is either the toilet or a drink or food. Or their friends have all gone home. Because, they can't just go and play out the front together. They need to be entertained. And I really should be careful what I say, because after I recorded the first one and I uploaded it to YouTube, my oldest daughter went, "Oh, Mum, can we watch it?" So I went and occupied myself with something different because I really didn't want to watch it. And they watched it. So I should be nice about what I say, because knowing me, they will. Knowing my children, not knowing me, knowing my children, I will get it onto YouTube, and it's a public holiday here in Australia on Monday, and they'll probably be saying, "Oh, Mum, can we watch it? Can we watch it?" So if you are watching, children, I love you. But yes, I do know why you come inside. So anyway, knitting, because that's what we're all here for. If you watch the first episode, and like I said, feel free to go back and watch it. It's only about 17 minutes long, but it is, the visual video is a bit dodgy. Sorry. Like I said, my 3-year-old's quite sick. And she's 3, and she likes to share her germs. So, she kisses me and I get snot on my face, or like she came over to give me a kiss and a cuddle and she coughed right in my face. So, excuse the coughing and the spluttering if I do happen to do that, like just then. But yes, she shares the love. And in saying that, I actually don't mind getting sick, because inevitably the baby's going to get sick. So if I can be sick as well, then at least he gets my antibodies through breast milk. So, and if you can hear the noise in the background, the toilet is just behind that door. See, what did I say? They would only come in for water, food, or the toilet. Mum, or because their friends have gone home and they're bored. Mother knows best. All right. I am cheeky. Very, very cheeky. Did I say, like I said, goldfish bowl? I'm in my daughter's bedroom. So can you see lovely purple walls? I think I ended up choosing it for them because my 9-year-old felt like she was under so much pressure to choose the colour. So I think I went, this is a really pretty purple. Let's go for that. So, and it actually goes with my outfit. That was really well done, wasn't it? Very clever of me. Okay, so if I ever wear anything tealy, I should go into the boys' room because it's a dark blue. No, not dark blue, dark teal. I digress. I've got to tell you this story. I've been wanting to tell you because I think it's pretty awesome, and you'll probably hear it and go, that wasn't that good. I'll tell you anyway. We've had a really busy 2.5 weeks, and it kind of, after I recorded on Tuesday, and the Saturday after that, my now 3-year-old had her birthday. And we decided to take the kids out for dinner, but we didn't book. And, when it's just 2 of you, you can go into a restaurant relatively early and get a table for 2. Or even late, or whatever. Because there's usually, not always, depends on the restaurant, I guess. But usually, generally speaking, if it's just a small group, if it's 2, 3, maybe even 4 of you, you can get a table. I forget that my family alone is a large group. So we rocked up to this pizza restaurant. It's 6:30 on a Saturday night. down in Penrith, which is down the mountains from where we live, is we have like the Penrith Panthers, which is a big, I don't know if it's NRL or AFL. I think it's NRL, the National Rugby League. I'm not a fan, so I don't know. But we had the we went there, the NRL, and I just realised the sun shifted, so now I've got the lovely lines across my face. I'm sorry about that. I've never recorded in, well, no, I did the other day, and I'm sitting on the floor as well. That's another thing, I'm sitting on the floor, and it's quite comfortable. Anyway, I don't know why I told you that. Anyway, so we went to Penrith Panthers, which is this big football club, the home of the footy club or whatever they are, right? And they've got, the usual things that you find in football clubs. I don't know what you guys have in the Northern Hemisphere. But yeah, like if you have, like for your Americans, if you have like, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain. Anyway, it's like a big building, obviously, but it's got like, it's got several different restaurants. It's got a couple of bars. It's got, like poker machines that my 5-year-old wanted to go and play. And we say, no, you can't go in there for starters because you're too young. And secondly, they just steal your money. But anyway, so we went to this place and it's Saturday night and it's packed. Thankfully, there wasn't a game on and we got parking relatively quickly. But we went in, like I said, the place is packed. They also do live shows and stuff. And by the time we left, because you've got to sign in, show your license to prove that you're not living local, because if you live within a certain radius, you need to become a member to go to, I don't understand why. But anyway, excuse me. So we went in, we went and we signed in and, showed them our licenses and did all of that. And we walked over to the restaurant and I said to the waitress, I said, you wouldn't happen to have a table for 7 people with a pram? And she went, no, you'll have to wait an hour. And it was 6:30 and my kids, I can't do that to my kids. So we went to McDonald's instead. Excuse me, note to self, we are a large group, book ahead. Because it's just like a family pizza restaurant and it's not particularly big. But yeah, I mean, like they didn't have, like I said, it's not particularly big. So they didn't, have a lot of room for large groups like ours. Can you imagine, when my kids are all grown up and if we all go out to dinner together with their various partners and even children, we're going to overtake entire restaurants. That's cool, man. I've got it, I will be excited and happy about that. So anyway, we ended up walking out, and much to my 5-year-old's disappointment, because he wanted to go and play with the poker machines, and then thought we were only going to have ice cream for dinner. Massive miscommunication there. And my husband's disappointment, we went to McDonald's. And as I said to my husband, it's our daughter's birthday. She's not going to care. She's going to be happy with a happy meal. And so we did that. And I took a photo of my family in the restaurant, like after we finished eating. And this guy photobombed. And it was just the best thing. He's just, there's this photo on my phone of my lovely family pulling varying faces. Because, who knows what's going through their mind. And this random guy, just with this lovely big smile on his face, sticking his head in. And I know that would really annoy some people, but I took the photo, realised he'd been photobombed, and then thanked him. It's given me a lasting memory of that birthday. So there you go. Feel free to photobomb my photos as long as you're smiling. 20 minutes of talking nonsense. Welcome to the world of have knitting. Are you still with me? All right. Maybe I'll talk about knitting now. Oh, it just went, I now have a screensaver. Oh, and look, if you can see me doing strange things, the screen just completely locked up. I've used this once to record. And I turned the screensaver off and everything, but obviously it's decided that at 20 minutes it still wants to go to sleep. So, sorry if that looked a little bit random then, because I had to type in the password and everything. Oh no, for next time. All right, okay, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm wasting your time now. I watch all these. I've been watching a whole bunch of other podcasts recently. And, you know, they all talk about random things that's happening, random things that happen in their lives. And I love it. I mean, I'm not a voyeur or anything. I just enjoy, like, the Bakery Bears. I've started watching that. And their episodes are rather long. I can't get through them all in one sitting. But Kay and, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I'm really sorry if you're watching. I know that he's Obi-Wan Knitter on Instagram and Ravelry. Anyway, I know that they have been showing like their favourite places to knit, and it's all been like different like ruins and stuff in England, and I love it. And I've even said to my husband, I think he'd really enjoy this, because his mum is originally from England, and it's just yeah, it's just, I love the whole history and learning about abbeys and how the monks lived, and it's just fascinating. But like I said, I only ever seem to watch it for that amount of time, and then I've got to get up and, you know, like for that first bit of, the first bit where they're showing, you know, their favourite place to knit, because generally by the end of that, I have to get up and do mum stuff. But I've really enjoyed that. And the great thing is that my kids come and watch it as well. And that's really cool. So, but yeah, I just sort of figure I should, you know, share my life with you. And feel free to come and share your life with me. There is a group on Ravelry, Have Knitting. Come and share your knitting and your life with me, because I am interested. And I don't know. I'm sure you've got funny stories to tell me. And my funny stories you probably don't find funny at all. And that's okay. Alrighty. Knitting. Okay. So if you watch the first episode, and I won't digress again, if you watch the first episode, then you would know that I talked about the Antarctic shore. I was up to, I think, the final section, and the final section is 8 rows, like an 8 pattern row, excuse me, that you repeat twice, so 16 rows all up, which, excuse me again, is the pale pink, because look, I finished it, and I just kept going and going and going and going until quite literally I ran out of yarn. That is how much I can't show you without getting really close, up close and personal with you all. That is how much yarn I had left. I used the Miraculous Bind Off from Slip Slip Knit. Miraculous Elastic Bind Off, not the Miraculous Bind Off. The Miraculous Elastic Bind Off. I have linked it on my project page, but if you just Google Miraculous Elastic Bind Off, you'll find it. It'll be the first thing that comes up in Google. I used that, and like I think I ended up doing an extra 6 rows before I went, I think I better bind off now. And I got to the last 20 stitches, and I'm sitting there on the couch watching the BBC's Pride and Prejudice going, oh, I'm not sure if I can get there, I'm not sure if I can get there. And I did. And like, I mean, like the tail from my cast on is like a lot longer than the tail, hang on, the tail from my cast off. Oh look, that's perfect. So I wanted to show you, so I haven't done in those ends, and if you did watch the first episode, you know that I wanted to get it done before the end of May, because Amy Beth from the Fat Squirrel Speaks was running a gratitude knit along, and I wanted to get it all done so I could participate in that. Not necessarily because I wanted to win anything, but because it gave me a goal. And I did. I finished it on the Thursday before the end of May. May ended on Sunday. I managed to block it out on the Saturday, took photos of it and uploaded it into Amy Beth's group on Ravelry and everything on the Saturday. And I haven't woven the ends in yet because I wanted to show all of you how much I had left. And you know what, people? Lovely, lovely people. I love it. I absolutely love it. It is just, it's knit in a gradient, as you can see. Light pink, dark pink. Started here with the dark pink, ended here with the light pink. And I love it. I love the flow of the pinks, and I love the lace. I love all of it. And I'm really keen to knit it again in one of those gradients that changes, changes colour, not just shades of pink, but, like goes from, green or orange, or maybe not green or orange, but you know what I mean. So I'm super happy with it. It was a bit of a pain to block out, but I'm not sure if that was because I had a very curious 5-year-old and another very curious 3-year-old who wanted to help, or at least wanted to see what Mummy was doing. And so that's it. It's kind of hard to show because I'm sitting on the floor in front of the computer and it is quite big. So yes, I'm super happy with it, and I'm hoping to wear it tomorrow. We have friends that are moving away. They moved away. They used to live up here in the Blue Mountains, and they moved away 18 months ago, and now they're moving away again, even further. So we are having, hopefully, depending on little ones and their colds, we are hopefully having a picnic lunch with them tomorrow, and I don't know when we'll see them again after that. It's a bit sad. Where they're moving is probably about 2.5, 3 hours away. I mean, we can always meet in the middle during school holidays or weekends or whatever, but still, it's a bit sad when people move away. Had friends. It feels like everybody's moving away at the moment. We had friends in March move to the US. And we had these friends move away last year, and now they're moving again. So even though it's just the same people just moving further away, it actually feels like everyone's moving away, when that's not true at all. I can't understand that. I can't explain why I feel that way. Anyway, so ages ago on my blog, I mean, it wasn't ages ago, it was just a couple of months ago, I talked about how I had been working on my Blomster socks. This was a sock pattern, excuse me, that was gifted to me for my birthday in 2012. And in 2012, I had my 3-year-old. And I remember, I think I'd already bought the yarn, I just hadn't bought the pattern or something. Or I got the pattern and then, I don't know what happened. That was 3 years ago. How am I supposed to remember? I've had 2 babies since then. Anyway, so I was gifted this pattern, which is just lovely. And I started knitting it when my kids were at swimming lessons, because my husband would generally speaking stay at home with the baby, and I'd take the kids to swimming. Not every Saturday, and we kind of tag teamed a little bit. What am I trying to say? I've got the sun shining on my face again. It looks like I'm in prison. Next time I'll adjust the blinds a little bit more. I hope you can see this okay. Anyway, I'm having trouble, but I've got the sun directly in my eyes. Anyway, so I started knitting this pattern and I really enjoyed it. It was heaps and heaps and heaps of fun. And I think I wrote on my project page that I plan to always have a pair of these socks on the needles. And then I finished the first one and I picked up something else and I left it sitting in a bag in my cupboard for 2.5 years. I'd also used the elastic sewn bind off or something, and the top of it was super tight. So anyway, I pulled it out towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, and started knitting the second sock, and I finished that just before I had my son. And I ripped out the top of the first sock and reattached the yarn, knit a few more rows of ribbing, because I think I just got sick of 1 by 1 ribbing and cast off early, and did the Jenny surprisingly stretchy bind off. And I said on the podcast, I said on my blog that I'd finished them, but I never took photos of them. But when I blocked my shawl, the Antarctica shawl, I washed and blocked my socks as well, and this is them. So I'm sorry if it's just a bit bright. So the yarn is from, drawing a mental blank, Space Frog Yarns on Etsy. I interviewed her on my blog last year. She does super bright colours. They're awesome. I love her. Julia, if you're watching, I love your yarn. But so that's them, and they go so nicely with this. I think I shall be wearing these socks and my shawl tomorrow while we picnic. So they are super, 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 super fun, super happy, super socks. I don't know what else to call them. I love these little flowers. I don't know, can you see them? How cool are those little flowers? They are really awesome, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I love slip stitches with variegated yarns, because it's just, I think it helps break up the pooling, and it just adds interest and a whole range of other things. And they are great. And I will knit these socks again, except I want to change it so that instead of having a line, like you can see here, there's like a line of flowers. I want to do it so it sort of shifts around. So I'll probably have to play around with the, what's it called? Stitch count and stuff. Oh look, the sun's gone behind a shadow. Sorry, I've got the laptop sitting on a plastic tub and I just whacked it with the sock blocker. The sun has gone behind a cloud, and I can see clearly now. What is it? I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. I can see clearly now. The sun has gone behind a cloud. I'm insane. I really, really am. Stick with me, because it's a wild ride. I'm sure some of my friends are going to be watching this going, yeah, that's just so Christy. And I'm sure some of you are watching this going, that lady needs to be in a straight jacket. I'll just start rocking back and forth like I should be in a straight jacket. Okay, so if you watched the first episode, you would also know that I wanted to work on, like as soon as I'd bound off Antarctica, I wanted to start on the wee envelope by Ysolda Teague. Podcast enabling. Chrissy Graham from the Manic Pearl podcast is pregnant and knit this for her in utero baby. Obviously the baby's not going to wear it in utero, but she was knitting it for the baby for, like, after it's born. And I've seen the pattern on Ravelry, but it wasn't until I saw Chrissy's wee envelope that I went, oh, I need to knit that. And I bought the yarn while I was watching the podcast. And so yes, I was a good girl. I bound this off first, and then I started on the wee envelope, and I'm knitting it in Debbie Bliss Cash Merino. Oh, I think it's a 5-ply. What it's sport weight? I can't remember what the pattern calls for. Oh, I have the pattern here. So I will see what it calls for, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Although I do have the other ball here, and I can probably tell you what the ball band says it is. Shown in Jill Draper Mohonk. That tells me nothing. So I'll put that there. But you can, Jill Draper yarns is what the original one is knitting. Okay, so this is my second ball. Debbie Bliss Baby Cash Merino with extra fine merino wool and cashmere. And it is colour 340072. Oh, I could have just looked at it there. And I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a 5-ply. I bought it from loveknitting.com, and that's a great green. I bought it from loveknitting.com because I like buying a lot of my yarn from there. Like, if you look at my Facebook page, my Ravelry page, I've done a lot of the Little Cotton Rabbits softies, and just about all the yarn that I've knit them with, I've bought from Love Knitting, because they've just got a really great range, and they've got a lot of colours. It's just, I love my local yarn store, but if I specifically want a dark brown or an oatmeal kind of colour or whatever, it's just easier buying it online than traipsing all the way, half an hour 40 minutes down the highway, and then going, oh no, we've only got these colours, and they're, like yellows or pinks or blues or whatever. And no offence to you guys, because I do love you, and I go in there for just about everything else, but there are some things that I just prefer to buy online, and Love Knitting I know that. I actually looked at my local yarn store's webpage to see if they had this yarn. They did not have this colour, and this is the colour I really liked. It's almost like a tealy green. I really like this colour, and they didn't have this particular colour, and it was actually, it worked out to be cheaper to buy it from the UK because they had free shipping, like a free shipping coupon code, and 10% off Debbie Bliss yarns. So that's why I bought it from there and not my local yarn store. I am all for supporting local businesses though. So anyway, so I'm knitting it in the 3 to 6 months, and I have to tell you something I think it's a little bit funny, paranoid more so than anything. But this is it. So I've got, wrong way around. I've got the left sleeve done, and the front yoke, and now I'm working on the back yoke, and there's little buttonholes, little buttonholes. Yeah, I'm trying to look at how you threw a buttonhole. Like I said, I'm insane. Yeah, so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. I like this yarn. It's nice and squishy, and yeah, I really am enjoying it. My moment of paranoia, I did gauge watch beforehand. I didn't bother checking about I didn't bother checking my row gauge. I just, I was only interested in the stitch gauge. I know, well, my bad. And I swatched with the 3.5mm needles, which is what it called for, and I didn't hit gauge. And I thought, I'm not going to hit gauge with the 3.75, so I just skipped right to the 4mm. And it could be a mistake. It could end up being too small. I should probably just double check the gauge. No, I'm not going to bother. Maybe when I do the bottom part of it, I'll just double check. By then it'll be too late, but then I can put it away and give it to somebody as a gift, because I'm sure somebody else that I know is bound to have a baby eventually. Okay, anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'm knitting it on 4mm. My funny story. I wanted to, because I didn't check the row gauge, I was a little bit paranoid that I might end up being a little bit too short in the arm. So I went and found a little romper that was hanging up on the clothes area inside, and I measured the sleeve against the sleeve of the wee envelope, the sleeve of the little romper, and the little romper is like a 000 size, so size for 0 to 3 month old, and I'm doing the 3 to 6 month old, and the sleeve on the wee envelope is only fractionally longer, and when I say fractionally, I'm like maybe half a centimetre longer. I have gone and picked up everything, just about everything nearby, 00s, which is a 3 to 6 month size, and 000s, and measuring all the different arms just to make sure that it will still fit him. I think it will. I think I'm safe. But like I said, moment of paranoia. So I am sorry about the sun. My goodness, it is bright. Those clouds need to come back. So I'm sorry. if this is particularly bright and my face is looking incredibly washed out. I'm sorry, I can just do the rest of it like this. Actually, I probably can't. And, you know, believe it or not, it's actually, it's winter here, being this, I don't know. And there goes the, oh, heck. It's winter here, believe it or not. And there we go. Screensaver's gone. I'm going to have to figure that out for next time. Yeah, it's winter. And yet it's hot. I could probably... No wonder my kids keep coming in and saying, Mum, can I take off my jumper? I'm hot. Okay. So, because I'm hot. Anyway, so that's the wee envelope. I am on... I'm on Instagram as Have Knitting, if you're interested in finding me and following me. And somebody started following me, or I came across, I think somebody started following me. And whenever somebody starts following me, I go and have a look at their page to see what sort of photos they're putting on and then decide from there. Because I'm a public user, I'm not one of those private ones. So, I mean, like, I can't stop people from following me, but I just like to know who's looking at my pictures and liking them and stuff. Anyway, I came across a girl. I'm going to assume she's definitely a girl. Her name is Katie. I came across somebody on Ravelry, Instagram. She may be on Ravelry as well, but I came across somebody on Instagram. Knit, Stitch and Bits, which is really, really hard to say because I really want to say something else. And she makes little knitting project bags. She's an Aussie, so she's down in Tasmania. And I got this, and I'm so sorry about the sun. Look at those sheep. It's pink, which is my favourite colour. It's pink, and they are just the cutest. Well, they're probably rams, actually. They're not sheep. They're rams because they've got horns. They are. Or do sheep have horns? Tell me on Ravelry. So yeah, so my wee envelope is sitting in this little project bag, and it is so cute. I love it. I saw it on Instagram. There's even a little rainbow sheep. Is there one on this side? Oh, they're so cute. I love them so much. They're so cute. No, there's a rainbow sheep here. Can you see him? Little rainbow sheep. Hello. Oh, there's like an ice... I don't know. This one, to me, for whatever reason, looks like ice cream sundaes. I don't know why. Anyway. Yes, so I saw this on Instagram, and I said to my husband, do you mind if I buy a project bag? I want to support somebody who lives in Tasmania. And he said, yeah, all right. So, and I love it. I love it. Katie, if you're watching this, I know I put it on Instagram that I loved it, but I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's so pink. And the inside is teal. And I love teal. I love teal. So it's so cute. It's so cute. And she was so sweet. Katie was just awesomely sweet. She sent me a little thank you note, which is lovely and washed out because the sun is, you know, shining on my face. And little stitch markers. So lovely little bag. There's 3 little stitch markers. There's a star one. And there's butterflies. My 9-year-old was suitably impressed. Katie, if you're watching this, she loved it. Even though they're not for her. She kept saying, Mummy, you should wear them on earrings. I could. So there's, oh, hang on. There's that one. Hang on. I'll put my hand behind it. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. There's that one. It's like, yeah, really sweet. And there's this one. And then there's another one, which is green and blue. So I'm looking forward to having a project to use them on because they're so cute. And a little, cute little bag with butterflies on it. Like I said, my 9-year-old was impressed. So that was that. And that's that. And that's awesome. And, yes. So I've been working on that a lot. And what else have I been working on? I've been working on my Hermione's Everyday socks in Regia yarn that I got from loveknitting.com. And once again, I think they had a sale on Regia yarns. If you sign up to their newsletter, they send you all their sales. So, you know, it's good yarn enabling. And unfortunately, the sun's in the way. Now, I thought, well, the sun's just bright. It's not in the way. Because if the sun was in between you and me, I think I'd be fried alive. But that wouldn't be fun. So I thought that it was called, sorry, I'm knocking the tub. I thought it was called the party colorway. It's not. I don't know what party means in whatever language it is. It is not the party. It's not. The colorway is not party. I do like party, but it's not party. I think on Love Knitting it's Papillon. Papillion? I don't know. Don't ask me to do a French accent because I can't. Yes. So that's them. I haven't really worked on them much because I've been working on the wee envelope and I haven't been out much. I tend to take socks in the car or when I'm out or whatever, and we've been staying at home. So I've had a really quiet week intentionally. I didn't have appointments and stuff, so we stayed at home intentionally because I need to rest, let alone the kids needing to rest. And I made this little bag, my little drawstring sock bag, and I love it. I love it. It spots the top. It's fantastic. And if you do like drawstring bags, stay tuned because I've got a whack of material. So much material. And I'm actually hoping to start making them and selling them. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And finally, this is the last thing I'll show you. This is not a project. Those are the only things that I'm really working on at the moment. Because I just want to get the wee envelope done so that my son can wear it before he grows out of it. Because otherwise, I'm notorious for not finishing things off. And it would sit there and it wouldn't get finished and he'd never wear it and then I'd be sad. My beautiful friend sent me a gift this week for my baby. And it was, I think it's Billy Goat something or other. It's like goat milk soap and moisturizer and stuff. Goat's milk. And it was a gift box that came with a nappy bag. How cool are those goats? And you know, the first thing I thought when I saw this was, there's a new project bag. I will use it as a nappy bag. I've already got a really good nappy bag, but you know, I'm sure I could use this one as well. But it's really big. I reckon I could fit, I don't know, a decent sized project in that. So, April, if you're watching this, I love the bag. And, yeah, it'll probably be repurposed at some stage for knitting. I hope you don't mind. I do love it. Because, you know, like I'm a hoarder. I really am a hoarder. But I'm also the sort of person that if I get something nice like this, even though it's meant to be a nappy bag, I'll just go, no, I've got to use it for something else. It's too nice to give away or to, you know, get rid of or whatever, you know, like once it's past its purpose. So yes. And that's it. That's everything. I'm really sorry about the sun. Next time I record, I will make sure that I adjust the blinds a little bit better. Sorry, I've just got to stretch my legs out. I've been sitting cross-legged for the last 50 minutes. I'm getting a bit sore. Yeah, that's it for me. We have a public holiday on Monday. My husband will work. I'll tell you more about the socks next time because I've been going for 50 minutes and I'm sure you're sick of listening to me. Yeah, so my husband will work on the public holiday and I'll have all the kids at home and I think we'll just have a quiet day. Depending on how I feel, we might go to the park or I might just let them play with the neighbours out the front. Yeah, that's it. I've got a few things planned for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I can record fortnightly on a Saturday in my kids' bedroom, in the sunshine. Hopefully next time with better blind adjustment. But yeah, hopefully next time I talk to you, I've finished the wee envelope. I should have finished it, and I would have started on something else. Oh, which reminds me, from the 1st of July until the end of August, I think, I will be running a knit along. It's called it's a gift along, you can knit or you can crochet. It's a gift along. My next project that I have queued is Real by Miriam Felton. I did mention it the last time I podcast. I'm knitting it for a friend, and when I was talking to my another friend about the short scarf that I'm knitting for this particular friend, she said, she wanted to do that as well for another friend of ours. And so I'm going to run a gift along. If there is somebody in your life that you know just needs a pick-me-up, they need to be shown that they are just loved and special and wonderful and well thought of, whatever, come along and join our gift along and knit something for them. It can be anything that you want. You know, there's no kind of limit on size or whatever, you know, amount of yarn, anything. Come and join in. The only requirement is that you knit it for somebody just because they need to be shown a little bit of love. I know that a lot of us do, you know, charity knitting, or we knit for everyone else but ourselves, or whatever, but this is specifically for somebody who just needs to be shown some love. So there will be a Instagram hashtag, probably, I don't know what it is. I'll think about it and I'll either tell you next time, because next time will still be in June. But yeah, get your thinking caps on and think about it, and think of. See if you now the blinds make me look. I've got a mustache. Oh dear! Like I said, I'm insane. Yeah, just something for someone. Just because they need to be shown that they're loved, or whatever. And yes, so that will be from the 1st of June, and there will be more details to come on that the next podcast. And if you are a nursing mum, as in breastfeeding mother, depending on where you are and what you call it, if you are knitting whilst nursing, and you're on Instagram, #KNursing. So nursing, like knitting, with a silent K. And I'll be able to see your stuff, because I've started that and I think it's hysterical. Nursing, K-nursing, like knitting. And I'm loving this mustache. Alrighty, I'm going to go. And I'll be back in a fortnight. Like I said, you can join me on Ravelry. There's a group, Have Knitting. I'm on Facebook. There's a page for Have Knitting. And the shadows from the blind sun irritate me. So there's a group on Facebook. There's a group on Ravelry. I'm on Ravelry as Have Knitting. I'm on Instagram as Have Knitting. I'm on Pinterest as well. I'm pretty sure I'm on Pinterest as Have Knitting as well. I can't think of anywhere else. I do have a blog, haveknitting.com, where you can find all the show notes, and I'll link to all the groups and stuff if you're interested in that and don't want to have to go searching. Alrighty. Take care. I hope you have a great fortnight, whatever you get up to. Stay safe. Stay warm wherever you are. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. Like the cereal, because we have cereal in Australia called Just Right. I've never eaten it though. Not my cup of tea. Random silly stuff. Okay, alright, I'm going. See ya. Bye. And now I've got to find the stop button.